This is episode 5 of Painting and Photo Recipes that Give You the Art Advantage. This is the author Roslynn Eve, and my book is available on Amazon.com and Amazon.ca. We're going to be looking at exactly where we left off last time with this image, and I explained how moving these two down, how that brought them further into the image and how that improved it. So the next image that we're looking at is this one. And what we're doing with this one is I wanted to show you again how placement of light and dark can affect things. And you can see that we've added a table and a glass here as well. So now notice that our viewing window is tending to be much larger and definitely more massive up in the top here. So I wanted to do some experimentation here just to show you. Now you can see that our viewing window is going like this. Okay, now look what happens when we go the opposite. Now our viewing window is going like this. And notice this one compared to, let's see, I guess that would be this one. See how the lighter area draws you more up than the darker? But again, the white insert, we talked about this little border in here. I'm calling it a white insert, is drawing your attention even if the darker gray isn't. You're still noticing that. Okay, so we're comparing it to this. Okay. And of course we can do all of it as well. So let's say we move this and go okay, so you can see what happens here, how it shifts it around. Okay, so let's go to the next one here, and the reason why I've done this one is to show you that now I have made the squares smaller, even with the bigger one here. But let's look at the bigger one first, and notice how I've changed the insert now from the little white line to a darker line, and you can see that that's made a bigger difference. Also, if we neutralized this outer frame, it would make a big difference too by making it the same color as this darker gray here, and you would find that that would strengthen our main area of interest, because now this wouldn't compete as much, especially had we used the darker gray frame. But you can see that making it smaller is better. The bigger one is getting too close to the face there and starts to want to interfere with your attention being on the face. So every ingredient, again we stress, every ingredient affects your image and can make it more desirable or less desirable. So we'll get rid of that one. And you can see the difference that it makes having the mass be less here, and comparison with the table. You can see how the triangular viewing window has become much larger and pulled down into the image, and you can see that that's working really well because it's opening up the area which you're viewing, and it helps you to make this, all the rest of the space, not feel so empty. Okay, so that's why I photoshopped in just roughly. This is all just rough. With some of my examples, it's just roughed in just to give you the idea I'm trying to make. Okay, and that was just to show you with the table there. And this one, even though this is toned down because of the tan compared to and it kind of blends with the face and everything. It's still, with the gray insert, it's still not the solution. These should be gone, and these should be moved up a bit to maybe about here, or get rid of it and just have the one like we did in the other one. Okay. Now I'm gonna talk a little bit more before we are done this one here, because I wanted to bring up the viewing area. And we'll bring this one over. We'll bring this one up. And okay, so let's just cover this so we can move this one out of the way. I just wanted to show you what I changed from the original Whistler's Mother here, because what we did was this curtain was all the way over to here. So this is how much curtain I chopped off the original, and this here on this side of the red is how much I added on over here was this curtain. And this is how much that we added on to the top. You can see the difference from the red line to the top. Okay. So let's move that one out of the way. And you can see here that we're going to be talking about this one next. And you can see that here we have a more round window. Here we've got a more triangular shape. And you can see that in the original that this is a triangular shape, but it's going off the page. Let's just get rid of that one. This one is basically that one, so we don't really need it. Okay. And in terms of the layout and the distribution, you can see that it's much better. And you can see how massive this is compared to the original, and how much viewing space, or what the viewing window is. In this one here, you can see this is the original, and this is the one that we altered, because you can see that's the bigger one. See, there you go. And you can see that in this one the face is nowhere near it's not really, well, it's sort of on the line, but it's mostly above it, and we really want it more ideally placed, touching in there. And you can see here when we made the alterations, it did just that. So according to the thirds rule and the cross point, we do have the main area of interest being on the cross point now, and you can see that we have extra areas of interest as well. And you can see that in here we've only got these and the one pulling us off the page over here. So you can see the improvement that this has made, and this is why we're bringing these things to your attention. Now I'm going to be getting into the shapes and the viewing window more in the next tutorial here. So in the meantime, I'm going to bring up my book, and here it is, The Art Advantage. I'm Roslynn Eve, the author, and you can get it on Amazon.com or Amazon.ca. There is a link in the little description below my video. If you'd like to subscribe, that would be wonderful, and we'll look forward to seeing you again. Bye for now.